This next time we run through the code will be when we log in with some credentials that work. So in this case, it's going to be the username admin, and then the password admin pass in all capital letters. And then I'm going to click login. Again, and this shows the notice you have been logged in, and it shows some different text here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the code behind that. I'm going to jump back to the editor and scroll up to the top. And again, we're going to start at the top here. So we have our opening PHP tag. We're starting our sessions, initializing our notices variable and our users variable. We're checking to see if the form got submitted. It was, and so we're going to switch based on the action. In this case, it's going to be login. So we're going to loop through each user, and for each user, we're going to check the username that got posted through the form against the key, which would line up with this side of the array, and the posted password with the value of that array item. In this case, it would be that side. So the first time this loops through, it's going to check to see if the post username, which is admin, is equal to admin, which it is. And then it's going to check to see if the post password, which is equal to admin pass in all caps, is equal to the password here, which it is. So this code here will run for the first time. And what it will do is simply set the session username to the username inside of the user's array, which is admin. And then it will run break, which will break it out of the switch statement. And then we have the end of our if statement here. Let's go ahead and scroll down. So this time, if we check to see if the username session variable is set, it's going to return true. So the output this time is going to be this, which is a paragraph that has a link. And then as part of the link, we have action equals log out, and then the text log out. Now this is something new. In previous videos, we used a form method called get, which when we submitted a form, would add some variables to the end of the URL. When we use the post method, these variables are hidden. But another way we can trigger being able to use the get array is not only by submitting forms with the get method, but we can also add variables to the end of the URL by using the question mark as the query string separator. So what we'll end up doing in our code is looking for the action get variable, and we'll check to see if it's logged out in order to log the person out. Next, what we're going to do is display welcome and then their username, which will be in the session variable, and then a paragraph that says you are logged in, enjoy. This else bit will get skipped, and then we're going to render our notices. We initialize our notices output variable. We check to see the count of the notices. In this case, it's 1. We added this notice here, you have been logged in. And then we're going to use implode in order to make that array a string that's been glued together by some list item tags. And then we're going to wrap that in an unordered list tag and a div tag with some styling. And finally, we're going to print those notices and the output, again, which is this.